life here in StarCraft 2 as we finally get to see a Terran on Terran action, and we are live in this game. Day 9, take it away.
ROOT.Drewbie spawning in the bottom right position as the red Terran player. In the bottom left, we have Fnatic Fenix on an absolute tear in this tournament. He is the blue Terran. Fenix is looking absolutely unstoppable, but I really love Drewbie's TVT, and I'm excited also to see a first match ever today on Typhon Peaks.
Yeah, you know, let's talk about this map. I kind of want to hear your thoughts on Typhon Peaks. We haven't seen it yet in the series. Obviously, it's not a map that people are like, oh, I lost, I'm going to go to a map. Cool. Typhon Peaks it is. We see it played when it's sort of a first round map for that particular round, but you know, what do you think about this map, and especially as it relates here to a TVT?
TVT is all about control points with tanks and constricting space. As we journey out here to the natural expansion, pretty typical. It's a little bit of a wide space, but that's not going to be a big deal. First big control points, these two watchtowers, all movement in the center. One entrance here, another entrance here. We see that if we can control the center, coming to the minimap, we can control this top area of expansions. So this is always going to be an important aspect for a Terran player to worry about. But also, again, if we come to the natural expansion, there's this annoying backdoor attack route, and you'll see a lot of times Terrans will march a whole army right to here and begin lifting units up into the main. So it's very difficult to control space easily on this map, despite the fact that the paths are all really constricted.
Yeah, and I mean, with the grass, which I think is a phenomenal addition to StarCraft 2 in general, you know, you've got the tall grass, the brush, which could limit your vision. It means that you've got to be very aware of that. We saw it, of course, happen on Test Bug and In Control versus TLO at the last MLG, where not being aware of that or the lack of vision could cost a game, and it did there. Now, both scouts have gone out. They're going to be scouting the incorrect positions, and then they'll just be moving on from that point forward. But with the addition of the tall grass, just makes it so that you have to be more aware of the space that you cannot see in the first place. So we already see Fenix go ahead and respect this aspect of StarCraft 2 by putting the supply depot in his back grass, and I really expect Drewbie to do exactly the same. Otherwise, it's just like begging to be dropped there.
You know what's cool about this matchup is that there are so many different openings, and there's no real standard. People are doing all sorts of crazy openings, and all of them are equally reasonable ways to open up. We're seeing Fenix open with a very fast reactor on that barracks. He's going for a muscle Terran play. He wants to begin adding a lot of Marines, back it up with a lot of tanks. Drewbie is going for a more finesseful, cutesy opening. He's going to be opening with a quick Reaper. Reapers are excellent at covering these vision centers, these Zelnaga watchtowers. You can also pop up into the main, scout what your opponent is doing, and most importantly, get an early stim. So that way you can have really powerful Marines. But wow, Drewbie not getting the stim, instead going to favor getting a very fast factory.
Yeah, so we do have the Reaper out, and I do like the Reaper on this map. I mean, at least with the cliffs, there is an advantage of having it out. Now, of course, Fenix is going to find this right away as he pops up, but there is one Marine. He smartly put the Marine on the other side of the grass and not inside the grass, because this is why we will see the Marine go down. But now you've got that Reaper incredibly low, and with some Marine help here, it should be... Oh, he kind of stuttered there a little bit. Does manage to get him, however, and so just a great anticipation there by Fenix. Again, Marine out of the grass, more important, because then the Reaper comes out. He's kind of surprised by it, get that initial damage, finish it off.
Very cool opening coming up from Drewbie, going for Blue Flame Hellions right off the bat. Again, we're seeing Fenix do another Hellion opening himself, but he's not going for Blue Flame. He's instead getting the regular straight-up Hellion. He's going to try to overwhelm his opponent very quickly, and I think Drewbie's going to be caught quite off guard.
I wonder what the ratio is if you're basically pumping out the Hellions with reactors versus the single factory Blue Flame. How many you actually have to have out, and that scan will give away what is going on. Because the reason I say that is because in you know, a lot of the TVTs where Hellions become a factor, it will come down a lot to just the control of those units, not only the Hellions but the Marines, to try to save them as well. Even in some of the Team 2v2 matches, this is a very popular strat with like Lings and Hellions, and control is so crucial. But do you happen to know that, I mean, will two blue flames kill 4 non-blue flames.
I mean, honestly, I am not sure how that battle is going to end up matching out just because of what each player is likely to be targeting. It looks like, oh, there's going to be a minor engagement here, and it looks like this is exactly what Fenix wants. Fenix wants his Hellions to kill Drewbie's Hellions. Drewbie wants his Hellions to kill Fenix's Marines. So we are going to see these Hellions from Fenix go back to these key control points, these Xel'Naga watchtowers. And in the meantime, Fenix trying to figure out another way he can be aggressive. He's going to be getting a very fast Banshee, and he's getting tanks to bolster his force.
Yeah, and Drewbie is making his way over right now. Marines will catch off one of these Hellions off guard, and you know, all the blue flame is revealed, and these Marines are going to get crushed here. Blue flame moving in and out of the action, and Fenix loses all of his units in that particular little attack. There's just a tank, a Marine, and a Banshee coming out, and the blue flames are going to make their way into his opponent's base.
Oh no! He's lining them up!
He is lining them up, but he decides, oh wow, you know, I'm not sure why he didn't go after that, but Drewbie is, it seemed like such an amazing opportunity that was kind of squandered there. The Banshee did save the day. Those SCVs were ready to go. I think he should have actually attacked on the top side.
You know, I mean, it's one of those moments where if those SCVs are lined up for just half a second, you can completely obliterate the economy of your opponent. But you have to be very, very careful about that positioning in order to actually do a lot of damage. And now we're going to come into the very traditional type of warfare harassment, the Banshee. Just march right in and get picking away, and with that Viking finish, we are going to see the Banshee get picked off, but if we go to the worker kill count, we see that Fenix has actually killed more workers with a single revealed Banshee, more so than Drewbie with his ultra-microed Hellions.
Yeah, and I mean, think about what he put into that attack in order to get it. He was ahead like 7-1 in terms of workers killed, but then once the Banshee came out, it was no problem. Now, Siege mode is not done quite yet for Fenix, but it's very, very close to being completed. And I'll tell you what, if these 2 tanks siege up here, even with the limited Marine support he's had, Fenix could initially do some pretty legit damage here. Starting off, Siege and the first tank are underway, and is he going to spot this? He is going to see it coming out. One tank sieging the back. He's going to bring the other 2 forward. Instantly, we see that missile turret go down, and these tanks can just start leapfrogging. There we see the scan going down, find out exactly what he's dealing with, but this could be an early choke that Drewbie might have some problems dealing with. SCVs are going to come out, and here the battle ensues.
Fenix just going to pull those Marines farther and farther back. Club up those SCVs. Oh, Fenix. Wow. With a very fast, quick win, Fenix is going to immediately jump to 1-0. He already defeated Greetorp. He has that TVT warm-up practice. Now, going into this game against Drewbie, had a very convincing win. Not quite the struggle game that we ended up seeing against Greetorp.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's quick and dirty right there. Only 11 minutes, and we are going to set up for the next game, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about what we just saw in a moment. Going to take a very quick commercial break. Once we do, we'll be hopping into game number 2 between Fnatic Fenix and ROOT.Drewbie. I'm DJ Wheat.
And I am Day9. Don't go anywhere. More championship pool play right after this.